Welcome back to the YouTube exclusives here. I'm Wardy, bringing you guys another one today. I did miss last week's Saturday upload. I just want to say sorry for that right away. Just with Katowice going on and I was casting the B stream with long hours, I was not able to get anything recorded. But we're back this week and we've got IEM Katowice Replays. We're kicking it off with this Scarlett versus herO matchup. Scarlett in the bottom left, our red Zerg player, up against the blue Protoss in the top right, herO. This one from the round of 76, the open bracket, the offline qualifiers. Let's see what happens here as we get this going on Automaton for game number 1. As always, if you do end up liking the video, do leave a like down below, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel. I do want to know what matches you guys might want to see me cast here on the YouTube for the YouTube exclusives. Do you want to see me casting games that were maybe cast on the mainstream? Should I focus on games that weren't cast at all? Do you guys want to see games on the B or C stream? Are there certain players you guys want to see? Let me know. That's what I want to hear to help you decide which of these IEM Katowice replays I should be broadcasting to get you guys watching. With that said, the ZvP kicks off on Automaton. A gateway on the low ground from herO, already looking to wall off over here. Now Scarlett does open gas pool before the hatch, which does open some more aggressive options into her playstyle. With the gas pool before the hatchery, it does mean you're going to have that faster Zergling speed. And obviously just more gas in general. Maybe a roach drone can come down here and some fast roaches. Although you're not going to do that while the probe goes scouting in towards the main base. So probe coming through, just going to sit around for the moment. Link speed will begin, but Scarlett stays on the gas. Another thing that could happen here, maybe a Baneling bust. Scarlett actually has a ton of gas because she cancels link speed now. The issue is, I mean, this probe sees no link speed, right? So she starts link speed again, but does she really want it? I feel like if she does, she wouldn't have cancelled it the first time round. So it feels like this probe scouting is just really being a nuisance. As the Lings come out and push this away, Scarlett will finally be able to do what she wants to do in her main base without it being figured out instantly by herO, and without herO being able to just react just like that. So the Queen going to finish up in a moment or two. The couple of Zerglings from Scarlett hunting that probe down then. It's already being chased, and we do see this Adept being chrono boosted out of the front. There's the lair. Maybe a bit more of what we were expecting here. This Nidus network has been something that we've seen a lot of in the last, well, patch or so. Like this entire patch has just been Nidus friendly, so maybe we're going to see some Nidus network play here. With the link speed being kept, looks as though we might have like a Link Queen Nidus. Could get interesting. There is a Stargate as the opening tech structure here from herO, so we'll see how this goes. As it is rallied down the Stargate to the low ground already. Overlord still hanging out here from Scarlett just at the front. This Adept shaking down to the bottom left hand side as well. Is going to be moving in towards the natural in the next few moments. Queen just still hanging around at the front too, though. And a couple of Lings coming in. There's the Adept Shade up to the high ground. As we do see, it's going to scout the lair. So good information from herO here. Oracle will start up initially. A lot of Lings being made. So again, you have to imagine that lair is truly just for a Nidus network and to get the Queens across the map. But there's not even going to be that many Queens because obviously it was only 2 hatcheries. And the lair was building on one of them, so the Queen couldn't build. But there it is. Nidus nonetheless. I mean, the Queen is just a little bit of extra something. Could go a long way here. Is already Zerglings pushing across the map. You can see that herO is already well ahead on workers. So, very plausible that he can lose some workers in this attack. As long as overall he survives and has units still left over to continue fighting as those Lings are approaching the front right now. Nidus network just over halfway done. More Lings coming out. I'm surprised herO, after scouting the lair, hasn't added on a shield battery down here. Shield batteries in the mineral lines, for example. I mean, there's one in the main base. But there's just nothing to defend on this natural apart from 2 Adepts. So I have no idea what herO's intention really is right here. As you do see that Nidus network dropping down into the natural. Probes getting pulled into this. And, well, the Zergling's going to try and break the front at the same time. The Oracle will go towards the Nidus on the top side. Second Oracle as well, and the Nidus is going to get shut down, or will it? Yes, it will. Obviously, sometimes those units start to pop out and the Queens can transfuse. And for the moment, that's going to be no Nidus network, but there is a Nidus up in the main, as these Lings will continue to apply pressure on the natural. The Nidus in the main are about to finish up, and this is going to be Queens out, Lings on the way through. Creep Team already spread so that you can get some more kind of progress forward with the Queens very easily here. As Stalker getting caught in a full surround, Shield Battery will not be enough to keep it alive completely, as the Lings obviously going to dart down to the natural as well. The Oracle's obviously already used up a lot of their MG2s. The Queen's back in the Nidus now out on the low ground. Probes obviously in a lot of trouble here. And actually, this is where the 2 pylons are. which are obviously powering up the gateways. If you lose them, you lose warping potential. Already these screens doing a lot of damage. This Oracle getting picked off, although it's out of energy. Maybe get the Void Ray would be a good priority, although I guess the Oracles, while you can get them, means then they don't get energy back to deal with the Zerglings again in the future. Scarlett's already killed 13 workers, and it feels like this is getting out of hand, because as she unpowers these gateways, there is not going to be any more buildings really available for herO, just Stargate production, and that's not going to be a lot as the Lings stream in. The Stalkers are going to start being surrounded. Stalker number 1 going to fall. The rest of the Stalkers tucked away nicely into a corner, but as more Zerglings, more Queens come out, you kind of just get the feeling this is going to be too much, and Scarlett wins game 1 with the fast night display. A quick game 1 deadly from Scarlett, and she picks up game 1 against herO. Diving into game number 2. Our top left-hand side, we've got the red Zerg Scarlett picking up that first game. Going to be playing against the blue Protoss in the bottom right-hand side, herO. Let's see if herO can indeed bounce back, as Scarlett looking good with the Nidus all in that first game of the series. Casting this series because it was a very much so requested series that people wanted to see. There was no cast in the games of it, I'm not mistaken. I think there's maybe like a Latin American cast, but no English stream. And so without an English stream being present, a lot of people missed out on this game. But obviously, it's a big one that people really wanted to see. I mean, everyone always wants to see Scarlett playing. I mean, Scarlett against herO. It's always a it's always like a matchup of players who are always going to be kind of popularized by the by the fan base. So fun to see, and excited to see what happens. Again, a quick aggressive opening in that game number 1. Leading into this game 2 right now, where there is already a drone heading to the right side, so maybe some proxy hatchery play here from Scarlett, keeping up with the idea of just being extremely aggressive at the moment in this series. Prober herO comes up into the natural expansion, moves up to the main. Obviously, at the moment, you scout this and you're like, okay, this is pretty regular, minus the fact that I don't have a gas or I don't have a spawning pool, and that's where the hatchery comes down. So Scarlett with the hatchery block. It's not a proxy hatch in the sense of I'm going to try and hide it, build roaches or spine crawlers and then come and kill you. There's a proxy hatch in the sense of I'm going to block your expansion, just try and slow you down. And here we're going to respond with a forge. So we're going to get a cannon up against this. Okay. It's one of the ways of doing this, and obviously it does take a little while to get that cannon up, but then does continue to deny anything at the front and keeps you pretty safe. And maybe because there's no spawning pool, there's that opportunity to cannon rush on the low ground as well, and perhaps bring some sort of counter cannon play in, to kind of slow down Scarlett's build, to slow down Scarlett's hatchery. That's also an opportunity, as he's really thinking about building this pylon, and he decides not to a couple times over. So far, hasn't had to build a cannon back at home, as this drone is going to be chased away by the Zealots still. Probe just wants to make sure it doesn't come down and block again. We're going to see the pylon just outside of the natural expansion, actually. So pylon dropping down here already. 2 pylons. Means this probe can tuck the cannon away into the corner and fully wall it off, so it will not be killable by Zerglings. Okay, now Scarlett sees this with the Overlord, so she knows this is coming in. This first cannon protected by pylons. Second cannon going to be protected by the first cannon, although it's not ready just yet. And another cannon just coming forwards just to make sure it's in reach of this hatchery, because this creep was pretty far in so far, and with the creep being there, obviously, it takes away some of the opportunity to really kind of get a cannon in range. Now you do see Zealots coming across the map. They will support these cannons, and I would imagine as Cybercore finishes, we'll see some Stalker play as well. As the Lingers do get surround on the initial little Zealot there. Zealot's still pressing forwards as the cannon's getting some shots off. Deals some good damage so far. As this cannon finishes, it is in range of the hatchery, and so will apply some pressure. Spine Crawler will come around to the bottom, relocate. The main priority for Scarlett getting rid of this cannon, which is in range of the hatchery. That's the cannon which is actually applying pressure here, which is actually forcing Scarlett into a weird spot, into a reaction against this, as roaches are on the way up. Lings as well just kind of streaming in to kind of flood this area. Now a rover facility coming in, so hero's going to turn this all the way into a cannon rush with shield batteries most likely as well, and immortals to back it up. Spine Crawler not in range just yet as these Zealots continue to pull back a little bit. Wolfgate stops. You can warp in Stalkers over on this side of the map to help back this up as well. Zealots coming forwards and just going to go straight for that Spine Crawler here. Ravagers obviously now able to come forwards and be able to start filing down those cannons. And the Spine getting some good damage done. The shield batteries are not ready just yet, so they're not able to bring this cannon back up to health. So cannon will fall. And that's the only cannon that was in range of the hatch. So now it becomes a bit of a soft contain. I say soft, pretty hard contain on the 2 bases, I guess. And those cannons can continue taking shots. I mean, the Biles will just drain the shield battery energy so quickly. That's the first immortal being chrono boosted. Beyond this, a Warp Prism obviously going to become pretty important as well. Might throw that immortal around. Extra shield batteries being added on by herO on the front doorstep of Scarlett. And then for Corrosive Bile dropping, we do see that cannon to the top side. Taking some more hits. Just going to be cancelled there. Cancel that shield battery too, because I think he was walled in. Didn't want to be walled in. Wanted some more space to build. Obviously, the shield batteries in the back can heal up those immortals, even if they're not in range of the cannons at the front, although for the moment they are. Second immortal before Warp Prism I find very interesting. Very brave from herO, because it means that he doesn't have any micro potential on the immortal right now. Skull going to try and counter Proxy Hatch, but I wonder if that's just too late. The Proxy Hatch is a very good way of dealing with this sort of aggression. The problem with it being that if you Proxy Hatch this late into the game, I mean, are you actually going to get up any sort of counter that's going to be worthwhile and going to be meaningful? Because by the time the hatch finishes, you still have to wait for either like lava to spawn or straight up just for like a queen to pop and to inject. Takes a little while as well. Never cannon picked off here, but there goes the natural expansion. Still no Warp Prism here at all from herO. Just is not afraid to just build purely immortals and just to fight with this. You're going to see those immortals currently just going up against the Ravagers. Gets rid of a couple of them. Obviously, as the Ravagers fall, the immortals are kept alive by shield batteries. And it becomes more and more troubling for Scarlett because there's less and less damage to actually get rid of these immortals. Finally gets rid of one of them. Is this immortal going to be able to get out of the rover facility? I feel like it's fully walled in. herO will cancel, so we'll never find out. We're going to be seeing the cannons still helping out quite a bit as well. Just the damage onto Zerglings especially brings them one-hittable from immortals. And obviously if they're one-hittable by immortals, that's a much better deal. And you're going to be able to really just deal with them so much faster. Less wasted shots as those Ravagers, one more of them chased down and picked off here. Roach is obviously not going to be great. They go down very quickly. Well, on the other side, the Proxy Hatch has started up a couple of Roaches. There isn't anything to really defend here at all. So that's not really a great situation for herO, I suppose. But the thing is, herO can just recall one single immortal. One immortal back home will deal with those very low number of Roaches, especially just pull a few probes as well. herO can afford to do that, is pushing into the main base at the moment on this side. Scarlett seems to be in quite a bit of trouble. Roach is going down. Extractor taking some damage, more drones are dropping as well. Queen pops out right in front of the immortals, takes heavy hits already. And that's already a big issue because then again, I mean, every little bit of damage counts right now. Lings, Roach, and Ravager. The Queen as well going to push up into the main base, so herO will have to deal with this as he's still attacking across the map, though. Another Queen gets killed across the map. These probes are taking some losses. Again, definitely think a recall would be the way to go about this. Pulls back down to the shield batteries here. I mean, I guess at the same time, there is just going to be so much killed by herO in this main base. I think he knows he can get rid of all of the mining here and essentially end this game, even if he loses all of his mining. As long as he has immortals and a Warp Prism, he's going to be able to kill absolutely everything. And herO's approach to this seems to be pretty responsible in the end. Yes, okay, might not go and deal with this right away. Probes actually just run away across the map. But I think he knows he wins the base trade, and that's obviously the important part of this right now is we're going to be seeing, well, a couple more Corrosive Biles dropping down. Actually kills a drone with the Corrosive Bile, pops the force field. But more and more drones are dropping, and Scarlett seems as though she really is in some trouble now. Ravagers keep going down, and herO will tie it up 1-1 with the Cannon Rush as a counter to the Proxied Hatch block from Scarlett. Interesting, fast, aggressive series from both players. Obviously different kind of builds I've seen for so far. We're going to be jumping into Game 3. Let's do it. So the conclusion to the series here, best of 3, third game. To the top right hand side of New Repugnancy, we kick off with Scarlett, our red Zerg. And the bottom left hand side, our blue Pro, some cool immortal micro in that last game with that Warp Prism. This is herO. Excuse me as I have a miniature hiccup for a moment or so. Do apologize. I mean, very unprofessional. I'm going to grab a drink of water. I know, Wardy, why didn't you just start the Game 3 again? I could have done, but I was happy with my intros until the hiccups, so I'm going to stick with them. Again, guys, if you're tuning into this and you're wondering, well, I kind of like the YouTube casts. When can I catch more of them? We try and get them uploaded every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 10 PM CET. It's 9 PM UK time. So make sure you check them out. We might actually start doing them an hour earlier, 9 PM CET instead. Probably go for that, actually. So, yeah, that's what we generally try and do. But around that time, every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday, we might try and play around with a couple different times and see how it affects things. And obviously, the YouTube exclusives have some benefits. You don't have to listen to me talking to Twitch chat. I'm very focused on the game and stuff, and a lot of people have been saying they enjoy them, which is awesome to hear. Swan pool drops down in the main base. So the hatchery about halfway done from Scarlett. Going to be seeing the Nexus dropping down from herO as well. The gate and the pylon not at the front. I'm going to be able to well, just continue walling off with the Cyber Core any second now. So herO going into that Cyber Core, and the Overlord from Scarlett heading down to the bottom left-hand side. hero's probe will be moving up the left, and we do just wait to see how this continues as the hatchery dropping in from Scarlett at the moment. And again, with the gas, the pool, Scarlett getting set up quite nicely into this so far. Just going to see the single probe of herO hopping up to the high ground. Just scanning around, trying to see what's going on. It is, again, that's a little bit of a different build. This time, Scarlett hatch gas pool into the third hatchery. So not looking to be aggressive as she was in game number 1. Not looking to proxy hatch as she was in game number 2. But what will happen here in this game number 3? Robot facility opening from herO. So no Stargate means he is a little bit more vulnerable to aggressive attacks. A Stargate generally the better way to defend against those. Although with a Roadrunner starting up, maybe a fast Immortal could be something of a savior for herO. Scarlett, very fast Roadrunner actually. Now there's no lair with this, right? So there's no intention of going in towards the Nidus network. If it was going to be Nidus, you'd see the lair in the Nidus before the Roadrunner comes down, because the Roaches can build as the Nidus builds. And you can kind of go from there as we see a few links popping out, drones as well. All of this pulling down to the low ground at the moment. Getting set to go. Links still moving around a little bit. The Roadrunner is about to complete, and the robot facility from herO about to finish up as well, back in the main base. So that robot facility finishing. And the Adept coming forwards, and the Lings from Scarlett to try and get us around, but not quite finding it in the end. herO with this Adept going to go back to the bottom left side. 7 more Roaches on the way up. And, well, did herO even figure out what is going on here? Didn't see the Roadrunner. Building a Warp Prism initially as well. Feels like herO actually just doesn't know about this. As Scarlett, Lings and Roaches continuing to come out, heading down to the bottom left-hand side. This is actually not looking good at all for herO. He has no response. He has no idea. Has a Sentry to Force Field with, a Prism to Micro. Oh no, there's few units coming out of the wall off. Needs to be careful. Those Roaches on Scarlett just waltzing across the map. And again, herO completely blind to this for the moment. A couple of units in here now. Sees the Roaches for the first time, but the Lings are even going to get in. Surrounds the Adept a little bit. Now the Force Field has to come down. Really? Okay, does get it there to block the Roaches out for a little while, but the Corrosive Fire comes in, so the Force Field doesn't even last that long. I mean, the Lings already been in the mineral line, though, and the Natural is obviously a big issue. A lot of probes going down here as they try and block the Roaches from getting in the front. An extra Stalker warping in. Shield Battery for Desperate Build, and the Immortal on the way up as well. Is it going to be enough? I mean, an Immortal with a Prism. Scarlett's killed 17 workers so far, has taken a 3-worker lead with this. It's not a lot, but the Gateway's empowered. Well, that's huge. And actually, the shield batteries might not matter as well if you just get up to the high ground. Corrosive Fire's working through the force field once again. Now the Immortal to Micro. The issue is the Immortal Micro on its own here. There's no support for it. And that's the real issue, actually, altogether, as we see Corrosive Fires. I mean, this pylon goes down. Suddenly, the Immortal number 2 will never come out. And it just looks worse and worse for herO. The Lings keep streaming in. The probes keep dropping. And, well, Scarlett will just pick away through this. And a quick wall in game 3 is going to find the GG. Scarlett takes the series down 2-1 against herO. Again, this was from the Katowice open bracket qualifying. Scarlett then advanced on through to the next round. And it was very, very hype, very, very exciting. And then able to take down herO here. Yeah, I mean, obviously it was a rematch from the GSL as well. They matched it up in the GSL a couple times, and people were very happy to see Scarlett finally getting a win. But again, nice to see how, even if it was a fast, aggressive series, probably one of the faster best of 3s that goes to all 3 games I've ever casted. So hopefully you guys enjoyed nonetheless. Hopefully you enjoyed the games. If you did, don't forget, again, leave a comment down below. I want to hear which players you want me to see me casting from Katowice. I want to hear which gamers you maybe want to hear me casting. Whether you mind if it was cast on the mainstream. I know a lot of you guys maybe didn't get to watch all the games on the mainstream, which is why I'm saying it. Especially, you know, games from the group stages, for example, I think are very okay to cast, even if mainstream covered them. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you with the next YouTube exclusive on Thursday, of course. Every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday for these. Peace out, guys. Thanks for watching this one. Have a